girl Nina Montañez.
Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy Rue, and I'm coming for you. And this is
Sofrito Speaks.
Hey, welcome back.
Damas y caballeros.
Damas y Caballeros, Sofrito Speaks, Season 7, and the return with Season 4 after 1 month of a hiatus.
Because sometimes you just need it.
Yes, this
That's
season
just
we are giving you guys very much so mental health, and if we are not in it,
literally.
you ain't gonna get it, baby. Okay, one thing about us this season is we are not gonna push those limits. Okay. But anyways, give us the chisme. Let us know. Oh, wait, let's start off the show with our first section, El Chisme. We forgot how she goes around. Yeah. This is the part of the show where we let you guys know what had us fucked up or jodido. In this case, in the last month. Catch us up. What's the tea? Tea.
So I don't know if I told y'all that so Sulma's Facebook got hacked or whatever. And it still plagues my mind. It lives rent free in my head because the way that it got hacked was not in the way that one would think a hacker would hack an account. Okay, this person also. I'm a little ronca.
Yo,
okay?
both too.
It's not okay over here. I got my
working with kids. Everybody knows the first 2 weeks. You better be ready. You better be ready because you're gonna get a cold. You might even have some coronavirus.
Nah, but we good there on that front. Anyways, so this person decided to write a status in regards to my mother's mental health, right? Now, I like to make jokes. We all love to make jokes about our parents. However, this person went as far as to say things like, mind you, posting the status on my mother's page as if this is Sulma writing this. I struggle with anxiety. I'm depressed. I'm manipulative. I'm narcissistic. I need psychological help. Now, when Sulma came to me with the information, I was confused. I was very perplexed. I'm going to tell you why I was perplexed. One, Sulma couldn't get into her account for a hot second. And I'm trying to figure out how to get back into her account, whatever, what have you. Now, you know how it says, oh, we sent this code to this number? The number that it was being sent to wasn't Sulma's phone. So, 1. 2, once I figured out whose number it was, puzzles started to put themselves together. Okay. 3, Sulma went to work one day, and it was her coworkers and her boss that were the ones that brought up what was written on her Facebook account. So mommy was like, what are you talking about? They were like, yo, have you been on Facebook recently? My mom was like, no, actually, I've been locked out. I can't get into my Facebook. And they were like, oh, because you posted some disturbing things the other day. My mom was like, what? That wasn't me. I haven't been on my account. I've been locked out. I can't get on.
Bendito.
And so I don't think the post was up long because I know my cousins would have been like, sis, what's good with your sister, what's good with your mom, and would have texted me or whatever, but nobody did, so I didn't know anything of it until Super brought it to my attention. And so they had reiterated to her what the status had said, and I already said what the status said. And mommy comes home, and the next morning she's like, I can't believe it. I said, what's up? And she's like, I don't want to believe that I know who possibly could have done this. And I was like, why? What happened? So she explains to me what happened. And once she used the words that she used, it clicked in my mind who it probably was. And I was like, okay, you know what? So I got out the shower.
We scrapping.
So I got out the shower. Don't play about Sulma. I can talk all my shit I want about my moms. Don't play about my moms because I'm coming for your life. Don't play with me. So I got out the shower, I got dressed, whatever. I sit in the room with her, and I'm like, we're gonna get your account back. If not, we're making you a new account, period. And so I have to send like her ID to Facebook. They have to verify that this in fact is who she says she is. Finally, they allow us to override it to get into the account. I go and I wipe out all the information that was there. And I put all my mom's information, so now she is the sole proprietor. She's the sole owner of her account. And then I get to work and my mom starts sending me screenshots and she's like, someone's still trying to get into my account. And she's like, I don't know who's trying to hack me. I was like, Mom, if this person did in fact hack your account, I'm going to keep it a whole buck with you. They're not concerned about posting about your mental health on a status. They're going to ask your friends for money. So the words that were chosen, we know who uses those words. So it's not too far-fetched to think that we know who this person is and was.
And it was
we
me.
hope that it's not. Shut up. We hope that it's not. You know, let God work on them. Because God's working on me to not reveal who we think it is. But that's the cheese, man. That's what I got.
I want to know off air if you can spill a little of that cheese, man, because God is working on you, but he's still working over here too. So, you know what I'm saying?
Literally sips my tea. Go off. You, let them know. What had you messed up?
Oh, my God. I didn't even think about this. My God.
He's like, bitch, I thought you was going to go longer.
No. Honestly, the past month has just been kind of getting acclimated to my schedule again. And I started the gym. I went 3 whole days. And then I was like, I think I lost weight. I'm good. And I never went back.
So I'm not actually losing weight. I'm losing muscle mass.
Honey, I'm not losing shit.
I haven't been eating. No, I haven't been eating. And I've rarely been going to the gym. And I'm like, how is the scale dropping? And I'm like, oh, stupid.
Your gains are going.
Because my gains are disintegrating. Yeah. So that was a sad realization.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into. I knew this was gonna happen the minute I started recording. I'm trying to get back into some type of shape because obviously, like, I'm 34 and health is healthin'.
We're not getting any younger.
So I'm trying to like figure it out. I'm gonna start again this week and just pray for me, y'all. Pray that I can get up and go because it's just the schedule. I've realized that I'm at the age. I've officially hit the age where. And I know it sounds kind of like, I feel like the hustle culture will like shame me, but I really just feel like I'm at the age where it's like, I'm good with one job. I'm good with only one job, no social life, nothing else. Like, I just want to work and go home.
So it's 35?
It's 34, baby. But I also think that it has a mixture to do with like comfortability. And I've been hanging out with my friend, shout out Josh. If you guys are looking for any type of positive or
you've been on it recently.
Yeah, life coaching. His content is going up, everything's going up, and like he's been like really helping me work through this of like figuring out why is it. And
he fine, y'all.
He read me for filth. He didn't read me. No, not rude. But I always say that because whenever he tells me something, I'm like, bitch, why are you reading me right now? Like, he has a way of getting into your mind that you're just like, So, and it's just like, it made me just think about a lot of things. And one of the things that I was talking to him about was like, oh, you know, I want to move to PR. This whole thing of me wanting to move to PR and trying to figure out what actually is that. And I still don't know, but he said something really
profound.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was like, you know, do you feel like you want to leave Lawrence because you're running away from your truth? You're running away from what it is that you grew up here in. You're running away from all of that. And I sat there and I said, I'm like, I've thought of that before, but I've never really sat down and sat with that. You know, and it's like it brought me down a whole whirlwind of like, what the fuck is this? I do still have like 90% feeling that I want to move. My goal is not a location because you can't, this I've known for years, you can't move somewhere and expect your life to change. It just doesn't work. And I've known people who have left and then automatically they get brand new on social media. And it's like this presence that you're projecting. Yes, it's making sense for social media, but I know in real life, baby, you're struggling. And that's cool too. But just really trying to like get down to the root work of a lot of things with relationships, with myself, with my mental health, and this. Why am I blocking myself? Why am I blocking my potential so much? You know, and I keep waking up and telling myself that, like, why aren't you doing the things that you said you were gonna do? Why is it so easy for you to make plans to hang out with people and to prioritize all these people's needs? But when it comes to you, it's like you're not focused, you know? And that's where my head has been at for like the past month. And I've been catching myself in these situations. I even sent out a text like 3 weeks ago to like all my like drinking friends. And I was like, listen, for a while, I'm going to just back up. I need some space.
This is how you know Ruben and I haven't really spent much time together because I didn't receive one of those texts this time.
But you're not a drinking friend.
Could be.
Yeah,
Allowed
well,
me to
we
put my potential.
don't need two of us on this, okay? But I sent it out and I just said, I just need a break. I don't want to prioritize anyone, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about that in Caldero Talk. I don't want to prioritize anyone. I don't want to hear you vent to me. I don't want it. I don't want it. Whatever it is, keep it to yourself. I am in this space to where I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm so focused on myself right now that it's like I just can't handle it. Like, I had a friend hit me up and was like, yo, this happened to me. Respectfully,
I don't give.
this was like, I was like, respectfully, I just don't have the mental space to handle this right now. Oh, okay. Okay. Anything else? All right, cool. And
I don't know how I would feel on the receiving end of that.
I mean, it's
Like, I respect it. I just don't know how I would feel if I called you to vent and you were like, bitch, respectfully, I heard you, but I'm not listening.
right. I don't know. I feel like it is a gray space of just like, are you going to lose this
But I love that,
communication with someone? But at the same time, I feel like if you are communicating to someone, I don't have the capacity to handle this conversation. That should be very well received in this day and age, rather than me sitting there.
I think it's about understanding that boundary and being like, if I do call you, yo, where you at right now mentally? And I know it's hard if you're already like angry about something and you want to vent so bad, but just like being cognizant of the fact that is the person that you're calling available mentally to be able to help uphold that conversation. Because I want to talk to somebody, I want to be able to vent, but I want you to be able to receive it to like then give me something back and or just listen. But you gotta preface it with, yo, are you available for this right now?
Well, I've been practicing the past week and a half. If I need to vent, voice record.
Hey, yo!
Voice record and hear that shit back and analyze.
You sound crazy.
Analyze, because you're like, I've caught myself in my car. I'll turn off the music. I'm driving and I'm like, I'll be like, yo, fuck this shit. Like, this shit really just pissed me the fuck. Like, and then I stop and I'm like, but why are you really mad? While I hit 90, spaced out. Like, why are you really mad? And it's like, you know why you're really mad? I've gotten to that point where I can point it out. You're really,
oh my God.
You're really
Me
mad
too.
because you did this and this happened to you when you were a child and you've never dealt with it. And because you all these years didn't want to deal with that, now look at you. Now look at you. Looking like Nicki Minaj, okay? But honestly,
Yo.
that is the best
Yo.
thing. That is the best thing that has helped me, because I read this quote. Oh, don't let me forget it. I read this quote. I stopped venting to people because I realized that vents lead to other rooms.
Baby!
The visual of the vents in our old studio. That I was like, everyone was hearing everything.
Yo, that's so real though, because I had myself messed up this week with that exact concept of like, yo, why does this piss me off? Like, why does this really get under my skin? And then it was like, hold up, where do you feel it? That EMDR? I really want to do EMDR. Where do you feel it in your body? Ew, I feel it like in my stomach. Like, I'm just like, ugh. What is that? Like an anger. But then it's not to be confused with the way that I feel about being having social anxiety. They're both, I feel both in my stomach, but one is like weakness and the other one is like a fiery, like it's two opposite ends, but whatever. And I was like, why do I feel this way? And I was like, oh my God, because when you were a child, that is how you were made to feel in these situations. And I'll probably go more into depth in like a video or whatever, just like kind of like dive in. But yo, that's a word.
People
right
really
there.
like,
that's a
people
word.
really downplay shit. And it's like, nah, I just really been diving into all of that right now. And the past month, like, it's not that we're lazy and we don't want to record. Like, let's just be very clear and let's call a spade a spade. It's like, we are just going through life right now. Like, and sometimes it's hard to sit behind this camera on this mic and just provide an entertainment aspect, but also provide some knowledge, provide some insight, provide some of whatever we're providing you. It's hard, and it's gotten harder throughout the years.
Yeah.
I feel like before it had been like so set in a schedule, and we were so strict on like, no, we're in season. We don't get paid.
Once we made that connection, nobody.
We don't get paid. We don't got contracts. This is ran by both her and I. If we don't want to post, we don't post. If like no one is on our back, and until that money comes, or until that situation, and you're probably saying, well, why do you need that in order to? Let's relax. Why do we need that? It helps. It helps keep you in order, because if there's a check behind it, for me,
it helps hold you accountable, because now you're doing it because.
But I feel like the discipline and the accountability we've given y'all for the past 6 seasons.
I think for a long time though we struggled with that, and this really is the tea. I think we struggled with like, we gotta set a schedule. Let's have a creative meeting. Like we've done that. We've tried.
We've tried
getting more involved on YouTube, doing more this, doing more that. And yes, while our jobs kind of allow us that flexibility to do those things, it's about understanding where we are in a mental space and being like, do I even care to do this? But then it's like, I no longer beat myself up about scrolling on Instagram for 2 hours when I could have been productive somewhere else, because that's just what I needed at that time.
Exactly.
Now my biggest battle is between my Bible study time and my Instagram time. That's for now what I'm battling. See what I'm saying? That's what I battle. In terms of like getting to the studio, we pay for a space and we maybe see it. I have not
when we first got this space, I was here every week, like every weekend. I was in here. There's TikTok videos of me coming at 6 o'clock in the morning, learning a routine and posting on TikTok. But then I just realized, like, why do I feel that I have to be in this space? Why can't I be in my bed? Why can't I? Don't you ever just want to wake up? This is me asking myself. Don't you ever just want to wake up and just like, Nope, I gotta wake up. I was getting up, getting dressed, coming here, spending fucking 8-10 hours here, and it's like, girl,
go home.
But anyways, that's all the chisme that I have. You don't have anything else?
Do I have anything else? I do. Actually, guys, so fun fact, we actually recorded this episode 2 weeks ago.
Well, now it's a different topic.
No, but we were already here 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we did record 2 weeks ago.
Now, I think, where the Holy Spirit is set up, there was a point in it where when we left, I was like, I don't feel good about that episode. And typically when I leave an episode...
It was rough.
It was rough. And typically
your chisme was 25 minutes long?
It was wild because I had so much to talk about. But it ended up becoming a vent session, and that's not what I wanted.
Okay. This is the first time hearing of the reasoning. I got the text message, and I was like, absolutely not. It's 80 degrees outside, and she's thawing. Period. I'm out here.
So what happened? No. So this is what happens. This is how God works for me. So I know when it's a good episode because when I go to play it back and when I think about it, I'm like, I feel good about that. And then there's some points where I play it back and I'm like, I don't remember saying that. Like I don't remember.
You had blackout.
Yeah, but then it's like it's something that is like of substance, and I'm like, oh shoot, God was speaking through me in that moment, and it didn't click for me until I went and I played it back, and I was like, when did I say that? Right? Cool. So when I go to leave, I'm driving and I get, the way God talks to me is a very intrusive thought. Like I was singing along to something. I don't even know what I was listening to. And all I heard was re-record the episode. And I was like, wait a minute, what? So I get to the gym and I'm like, I push the thought out, whatever. I'm not even thinking about it. So I get on the treadmill after my workout and I'm listening to a podcast. And again, I'm not even thinking about what we just recorded. I'm just like going about my business. Intrusive thought. Re-record the episode. I was like, fuck. God, how do I explain to somebody who's like not a non-believer, but they just not where I'm at? How do I explain to someone that you told me that I have to redo that? And it was send the text. Yo, I was shaking. I was like, Ruma's gonna whoop my ass. Hey, I was just wondering if we could re-record that. And he's like, babes, no. And I said, no, but like, hear me out. And he would, and then it boiled down to, no, and then at first I was like, oh, fine, whatever. I was going to let it rock. Holy Spirit said, ask again. No, but like, I don't think I'm being so serious right now. We need to re-record it. He's like, babes, we can scrap the whole thing, but it's 80 degrees and I'm trying to be in the streets. We can meet again next week.
That was legit my response. Because my mind just went to like going back to the studio and I'm like, it's so nice out. I'm trying to be in these streets. Yo!
Luckily, I was obedient and I listened and I asked again and he was like, babes, then we'll revisit it next week.
No, she cleared it up and she was like, no, I didn't mean today. And I was like, oh, if you don't mean, girl, we can do that.
Not today.
We can do that. Like I said, we're not on contract. We can do that.
Hey, yo. So, yeah, that's that. That had me messed up because, again, and then it just made me think about my walk and how do you explain to somebody that, you know, your God told you, you can't do that. You can't release that. And it wasn't a constructive conversation. It was just me venting. And, like, I didn't realize it till after. I was like, no, I was still angry about that. Yeah. And it reminded me of season 1. And I was like, ew, I didn't like that. So season 1, Nina, and what do we have? Season 7?
Yeah, season 7.
Season 7, Nina, them 2 different females. They're 2 different bitches, honestly. But anyways, with all of that being said, mi gente, we're going to take it into our next section, which is...
Ay, bendito.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Ay Bendito. This is where we give you guys our local or global headlines and our opinions. Let's start. I actually came prepared with an iPad. Miss Celia Cruz. Okay, she'll be the first Afro-Latina on a U.S. quarter. That's how the United States is deciding to pay homage or remembrance to Miss Celia Cruz. It was announced on September 22nd. In 2024, the late Celia Cruz will be the first Afro-Latina face on a U.S. quarter, part of the American Women Quarter series that also honors... Oh, baby, y'all gonna... I'm gonna butcher this. Suffragettes, civil rights leaders, abolitionists, and scientists who changed history.
Go off.
I'm going to need them to give me at least $1. Just kidding. This was on NBC News. So shout out to Celia Cruz. Rest in peace. I hope you are up.
Isn't it funny that now they're going to be redoing the coins, but like cash is going to lose its value?
No, I didn't even think about that.
So is it really a win?
I didn't even think about that. They said it's still a penny. Okay, here we go. Speaking of Latinos, from Lawrence's very own Latin music artist, Nicky Jam was honored with an arts center in Lawrence. This is from 10 NBC Boston. Jesus Christ. Okay, so a legendary Latin pop artist with roots in Lawrence, Massachusetts, was recognized for his success by leaders of the Merrimack Valley City on Thursday, with a music and arts center being named in his honor. This music and arts center is going to be next to the Senior Citizen Center. There's a big poster up. How many music and arts centers do we need in this city?
Can we fund the ones we got?
Like, they're struggling. They're all so. That was my first initial thought, but you know what? It is not my business. So, but congratulations to Nicky Jam. He is now 42 years old. We have an endless amount of after-school programs for the music and arts in the city of Lawrence that could use a great amount of money, facelifts, supplies, costumes. We have all these kids out here who need all of these things. And this is how... Okay. But shout out to Nicky Jam. Those are my opinions. So if you want to hate me, go ahead. And
it's also very interesting, though, how, like... I saw a lot of backlash on Facebook and like people going back and forth or whatever, people like critiquing and like upset about it or whatever. And people are like, yo, if this man did this in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico would be super grateful. But no, Lawrence thinks like, oh, because you are somebody. And this is why people leave and they don't come back.
What was the what were people saying?
like basically like, oh, like he could have done something else, like he,
Oh, then I always
like
sound like those
he's,
people.
yeah, it's like, yeah,
I'm sorry.
could have put more money to this or whatever, but it's, you stayed within the realm of, hey, there's already these things in
Yeah.
place, why not
I'm not against.
elevate
Okay, I'm not against him
It's a-
doing the
it's-
music
it's
and art
dope.
center.
But now here's the thing though. What happens? We open this thing, it's great, we make a big deal about it. And then what? You have to hire the staff. We have to maintain the building. You
And
have to
that's
make
my
it's a
thing, is
quality
that
program. There are things that are already in place that have those things. So
Mm-hmm.
why not help elevate those things? But again, I think it's dope. Cool. Give back to the city that you were born in. That's amazing.
I definitely am not coming from a haterville.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
definitely
no.
just like, as a person who works at a performing and fine arts program, it's like, it just, I feel like we opening another one is like the argument that I've been having for the past few years of like, how many of the same programs are we going to have? And I get it, each neighborhood deserves, but also why don't we just try to
They're all in the center though. There's
They're-
nothing in South.
Right.
They're all in
that
the
part.
center.
That part. But why don't we just try to invest in transportation and bring all of this together, bring all of this in, instead of all this dividing that's going on. It's interesting to see, but that is not to discredit anything. Like, congratulations to Nikki Jam. You have made it out the hood and you have become very successful for yourself.
Yep.
Give you your flowers as you deserve. Speaking of flowers, let's give the U.S. government their flowers for their next shutdown because they see every September to October when the fiscal year is closing, they cannot figure this shit out. So they will be shutting down as of October 1st. Last year, I think their shutdown lasted like almost half a month or almost a month. It was pretty intense, and what I'm not gonna go into the whole depth of this, but government shutdowns really do affect a lot of low income families, especially with their food stamps, with their rent control, and all of those things. So when there is a government shutdown, us middle class, we probably don't feel it as much.
Yeah.
But for low income families, or if you know someone, yeah, if you know anyone who is in a low income family, or if you're yourself, do your research and see how this is going to affect you regarding food stamps, regarding your rent, regarding transportation, regarding your health insurance, because those are the first things that get cut. And it's like, it's crazy, but that's just the country that we live in. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Also, I saw something the other day that the stimulus checks, for those who have not received their stimulus checks.
What? Stimulus checks?
The 1,400, the 1,200, and then the 14, or was it the 12, 1,400
The
and
one
12?
we got 3 years ago?
Some people have not received them. So what they found is a bunch of money that's just been sitting around since then, and they're going to distribute to all the people who didn't qualify for the first few rounds. So if you randomly see a deposit in your bank account, if you filed your taxes, then you will, that's your stimulus check, and congratulations to you. And I will put my Cash App on the link if you feel like you don't need that money, because I do.
So much.
What do you have?
In other news, mi gente, prepárense, because student loans are gonna be
Oh, yeah.
back on
Oh, yeah.
October 1st.
Oh, wait. Speaking of student loans, sorry. Mass Reconnect. This is a great resource for everyone. If you are 25 years and older, never been to college, and have, I think it's like 6 credited, or you have to take 6 credited classes, you can go to college tuition free. They'll pay for everything. I have 2 friends who are doing it right now. It's true. It's been promoted on the news. I posted it on my IG story the other day. Look it up, Mass Reconnect. See if you qualify. Northern Essex Community College is one of the colleges that is approved for this. So,
That's what's up. That's all I got.
That's
it. Because I'm
Um,
mad that I gotta pay student loans now.
Jeannie Mai got divorced.
Ah, shoot. Yo, Remy Ma and Papoose.
We ain't doing that. I actually think, well, we're in divorce season apparently, and I actually think that Remy and Papoose divorced or broke up a long time ago, like at the beginning of the year type shit.
Conspiracy theory?
And I think that now we're starting to see, like, she's been gone for a little bit, out of the public eye for a little bit. But yeah. But how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think that the issue is that, like, you know, Papoose really held it down while she was in jail. And then they came out and they finally, like, whatever. I don't know.
Would you hold...
No.
Okay. Because I feel like...
I'm not a ride or die. Like,
I feel like when somebody goes away for that long, whether it be jail, whether it be whatever it may be, people change. And the person who went away has grown and changed and lived a whole different life.
Yeah.
And they come out, and I feel like everyone's blaming Remy, like, oh my God. And it's always being the female being blamed, but it's like, one, we don't know because they haven't came out or anything. So we don't know the facts. We're all just speculating. But I think that, why can't she change? Why, like, did you think she went away for that many years in jail and she was like 9 years.
Hey, yo.
Like 6 or 9 years, I believe. And did you think she was going to come out the same, like, R to the easy and with that horrible weave? No, baby. She elevated and she's in a different place. And that's not to say that Papoose has not elevated and been in a different place. But I also think it could be just both of them realizing this isn't working and I'm not happy. And I saw a little bit of that when they were on Love and Hip Hop. Like when she first came on Love and Hip Hop, I was like, the love is there, but it seems like she's just kind of like.
I think that we have to be careful with that though. It's because right now a lot of the self-love era is dope. Like
we are just gonna be single. We are all just gonna be single.
I wholeheartedly believe that you absolutely can chase that self-love and still have your partner. But just I don't know. It's kind of like what
the terms and conditions have to be.
They have to look different.
Yeah.
There has to be a conversation. Do I think that you need to necessarily get a divorce?
Well, we also got
rediscover yourself. No. But if that's what you feel like you need, like, cool. But have you exhausted all other options? Because at the end of the day, you took vows. Like, if I marry somebody today, in 10 years, I'm not going to be the same person I was today in 10 years. So then that conversation has to look different with my spouse, with my husband. It's going to be like, hey.
Right. Well, some people forget to evolve even when they're in marriage or in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then what happens is one partner grows, one partner stayed. And now this person who's up here is like, babes, I'm getting here by myself and you're still there. We also lost Tiana and Iman Shumpert. That one hurt. I ain't gonna hold you.
I don't know why that one hurt. I don't
that one hurt.
Like that. I think it's because they were like besties.
Yes.
Just so
well,
cute.
they're still good. Tiana came out saying, you know.
I loved that, but she was like, I'm not gonna talk about my
yeah,
like that. I loved that.
She's like, we're good. We're co-parenting, and this was a mutual decision. And like Iman, he's out in these streets, and I'm trying to be out in these streets.
Annoying as. Yeah, so it's divorce season. Apparently, the whole Jeezy and Jeannie Mai thing, I was just like, what? Like, when I tell you that came out of left field, I was like, what? This don't make... Because I watched the reel. I enjoyed watching the reel. And I watched, like, the way she evolved from Freddie, who was her first husband of 10 years. Mm-hmm. And how she went through this whole, like, rediscovery phase, like, of herself. And the reason... Again, he wanted children at the time, she did not. And she's talked about it, and through like therapy and like really digging deep and like analyzing the relationship with her mother, there was a lot of traumas and she didn't feel like safe. And she like was like, I'm not trying to bring, I'm paraphrasing, like she essentially was stating that she didn't want to have a child, bring them into this world when she herself wasn't secure in who she is as a woman, let alone becoming a mother, which I think was very wise of her. And it's like, learn yourself and understand your triggers and trauma so that way that doesn't get, you break that chain and it doesn't get passed down to your children. And then she gets with this man, she gets with Jeezy, and like it seems like it's like this beautiful whimsical idea of love. And then now there's no, in the documents it's like there's no room or no chance of reconciliation. How do you just get to that? I don't know. I'm not going to follow the story, but if it pops up on my line, I'll read it. That's about it.
Let's close this section now and head over to our next section, which is...
Caldero Talk.
All right, mi gente, welcome to Caldero Talk, which is the part of the show where we're going to give you all of the juice,
The kind.
the meat, all the fun stuff, the topic. Yeah, you messed that up.
My
It's okay.
bad.
It's okay.
You always start with me.
I know. I don't know why I decided to say the caldo first.
I'm programmed.
It's okay. Anyways, we're going to just jump right into the topic, and we're going to talk about the topic of numbness. I think
I'm numb.
you know, and with that,
You're not my dad.
Because shut up, because you're not. I actually watched a compilation of like old vines. That was a good one. Look at all these chickens.
I like
Never mind.
It's like Oreo cookies something.
I don't even know.
The girl that's just like, I like this ice cream. Oreo cookie with a little milkshake. I was like,
Hey, yo. No, remember that?
no.
I think that was Desi Banks.
And the eyebrows on fleek. That's where that came
I
from.
know. Anyways, wow, why we decided to go down memory lane of vines. Anyways, here we are.
Because we've been numb. So we've only been on our phone. Just to give you some context where this topic came from.
I think that right now there's such a huge focus on the household culture and, you know, making it get out of the mud. And we're trying to pair hustle culture with mental health. And I don't believe that the two coincide. I think they're on two separate tracks and we're trying to mix them together. But when you're in this hustle culture, we talked about it earlier, like you tend to beat yourself up about not being productive with the time that you have, but your mental was like, nah, I needed that extra hour to lay in bed. But the hustle side of you was like, nah, but we could have sent this many emails and we could have reached out to this many people and blah, blah, blah. And then it's to the point where now you're in autopilot and then you become numb. And then what happens when a machine malfunctions? It just stops working. So then you end up just deciding not to do anything at all. You know, very similar to you being like, yo, fam, this is what I need. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like, just give me that time. But sometimes when we're numb, we tend to overlook the fact that rest is what we need. Because if we're not busy, then we allow our thoughts to catch up with us. And that is the scariest place to be when you don't know who you are, is by yourself with your thoughts. So then you end up doing other things and exacerbating your time with other things so that you don't have to feel. But all the while, your body is telling you, it's like your check engine light came on. Your body is telling you that you need to pay attention to this thing. And it could be something that happened that triggered you, and because it triggered you, you might not realize that it triggered you. You end up backpedaling and you end up going out 5 days a week. You're in the club now, and you're like, wait a minute, when was the last time I was even in the club? Or when was the last time I even picked up a cigarette? When was the last time you were triggered but you didn't realize it because you didn't allow yourself to sit and reflect? And then that numbness started to kick in, and then it took over what it was that you wanted to do. Now you're numbing your time. You're just not present. You might physically be present, but mentally you're not checked there. Out. And that's a symptom of numbness. Like you're not allowing yourself to feel things.
I think a lot of people mask themselves in their work, and that's where we get the hustle culture from. I realized a few years ago that, like, I'm not in a rush. I used to be in a rush in my 20s. I was like, I gotta be a dancer. Like, and I used to put all this pressure on myself. Like, you need to be in dance class every single day. If you are free, go to a dance class. And then I tried that for 2 weeks, and I was like, this is one, costly. Two, I'm not happy. Like, this shit sucks. And it's like, dance is supposed to be my place of like, but it's like, this is what, like, I don't want this. And ultimately what it came down to was just that I don't want to spend the rest of my life feeling like I have to work. Granted, yes, you have to work. You have, for whatever you want in life, you have to work for something, right? But I don't want it to feel like I'm just draining myself just to be something or to be someone or having to prove. And I think in America, specifically America, like we we always move forward with this is who I am. I'm a dancer. And it's like all this like baggage of just like, well, this person takes a million dance classes, they can dance everything, and all this pressure of just like, why can't I be a dancer? If I can do a two-step, I can pick up a choreography. Why does it have to be all of that? Why am I not a dancer because I don't have all of that?
In order to prove.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because in America, titles matter. They make you feel like you are somebody if you have a title. I'll be the first to tell you I'm a director, and I do not lead with that. I lead with my name because that's who I am. My title is not who I am; it's what I do.
right.
But a lot of y'all have made your titles your idol. And what happens when you don't have that thing? Now you feel like you have to chase something to feel something.
Right. Think about it. Like when somebody meets you, what they ask you, like, what do you do? Like we've been programmed of like, you know, oh, what do you do? And then it's like,
how much do you make a year? We've been programmed to care about people's pockets because our status or our self-worth is solely based off of a check that we get cut every 2 weeks, every week, however we receive the check.
and then it's like everybody can't be a singer. Everybody can't be a rapper. Where are the scientists? Where are the people who?
Plumbers.
Yeah, like where are these things? And it's like, and then I try to see like some of them will be like, you know, I'm hustling out here, and it's like you're just working. Why don't you just change that? Why do you want to feel like you're a part of this hustle culture? Because you're not really hustling. You're on 12 seconds of a video saying that you're hustling, and then after you post this, you're not doing anything. Like
Keep getting the same gigs in the same place.
so. We idolize hustle culture, but it really just drains you. It leaves you feeling numb. I feel like being numb.
Hustle culture, you're never gonna feel fulfilled until you reach what you think is your end goal. If you don't reach that end goal, you're going to keep hustling and you're going to let life pass you by. And one day you're going to sit and wonder, what the hell was all of that for?
I think hustle culture can exist with balance.
Exactly. You need to have
With balance.
But also, you cannot, operating in this space of, I got it by myself, I got it by myself. You didn't though.
It takes a village.
You don't though. You wanna know how I know you didn't get it by yourself? Because at the end of the day, someone has to give you the record deal. Somebody has to sign the contract. There are other pieces that come into play. Just because you may have made it to the building, there's no way you made it to the building on your own when you got fans. That's not by yourself. Like we forget the little parts of we forget the little pieces of what we're building. And then when we get up here, then it's like now there's this, I got it out the mud, I did X, Y, and Z. Cool. Your family might not have been there, but you had a group of friends that were. So were you really by yourself?
Right.
You might not have had friends, but your family was there.
I feel like the whole by yourself concept though, because
It's easy to say, but I feel like sometimes it's easy to be like, I joke all the time, I have friends. That's a bull-faced lie. I have friends. And now for me to see my friends, it requires a scheduling to happen.
Right.
There's an effort that has to happen. But on a day-to-day basis, am I by myself? Yes.
But I feel like I've spoken to a lot of people, and it's like a lot of creatives, when we're on this path to like chase something, you are by yourself. You didn't make it alone. To where you're saying yes, you didn't make it alone, but you are by yourself a lot of the time. It requires a lot of isolation and separation if you want to elevate. Like that literally is like Bible. But I think that people like they get into this mind space, right, and of like the drasticness of everything. Like,
oh no, the drama.
I have worked with dancers on projects in New York, and you know, here I come, just a regular old me, like in my head I'm like, I'm the best dancer, you know, like, okay, cool, whatever. That's me in my head. I was never like, I was also like, but I was just like, you know, just confident.
I'm gonna pick up this routine.
Then I meet this type of dancer who's just coming up and they're like, the whole sidewalk down the street, and I'm just like, what? Who are you trying to impress? Do you think Diddy's here? Because he's not. Like, why are you doing all of that? I get it. You feel it in yourself, but you're doing a lot, and you can tell they're doing a lot because they're always doing this.
And looking to see who's looking.
And that's corny. Like,
and then but
did your parents hug you? Like, I don't understand.
But to that point of like doing the most and then like looking up to see who's looking, that has to be tiring. So you're seeking validation from other people.
I mean, I've had people like, I remember this one guy was like, I don't even remember his name or his face, but he was like, we were at a video shoot and he was just dancing the whole time, and he's like, he looks at me, he's like, you're a dancer? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so why aren't you like, come on, let's. And I was like,
Are you gonna battle?
I don't have to do all of that. Like, what? We're both on this set. I'm getting paid more than you. What are we talking about right now? Like, it was just weird. And that's like, I think the first time that I realized, like, yo, a lot of people put on a great show just to make it seem like there's something. But at the end of the day, I know you feel alone and I know you feel numb. And like to bring it all back, like that's, I feel like, where I've been the past year and a half of just feeling numb, just like existing. I know you guys have heard me come on here numerous times, like, I'm doing good this week. Oh, this week I'm not doing so good. Oh yeah. Oh, and it's like, it's
Yeah.
that. And my therapist, like, a few months ago, brought something to my attention, and she's like, I feel like you go full throttle and 3 weeks goes by and you're like, I'm done. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I see it too. And she's like, why? You have to get to the root of why is that. If you want that you want that consistency to happen, you have to figure out why it's not happening. What's not allowing that to happen? And it left me just like your face right there. I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, that's true. Like, if you are saying to yourself, yo, I want to get, I wish I can just, like, I went from January all the way till April. I was getting up 4:30 at the gym, 5 a.m. Like, you were starting to see, like, my coworkers were like,
legit, yeah.
my coworkers were like, yo, you looking a little like, tú estás como que fuerte, like, and I was like, oh, I'm like, I didn't notice it. And then it just stopped, and it was like a stop, like, halt.
You hit a wall.
And it was just like, eat, everything in sight, eat it, just have it. And in the matter of a month, it was like 5 pounds back, another 5 pounds. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, I don't know how I did this. Like, I just did all of that and to do this. And my therapist was like, you have to get to the root cause of why that is happening.
I'm like, bitch, that's what I'm paying you for. Help me get there.
And it left me thinking, I'm like, why does that happen? Why do I put all this work in and then just throw it all down the drain? And there's a number of reasons. It could be self-pity. It could be people have put you down in the past, so you only look down for yourself. Like, it's hard for me to receive compliments. It's hard for me to receive people who are giving me flowers. It's hard for me to receive those things because it's like, well, when we were growing up, that wasn't the energy. And I get it. You've changed, and that's how I see it now. But it's hard for me to believe that it's genuine because when we were growing up, you were being genuine then. And that stuck with me throughout this whole time. And now you're like, yo, like, what is this? It leaves me in this place of like, what is this? And then it just has me feeling really, really numb with a lot of relationships in my life, with a lot of like paths that I decided to go down. Everything is just numb. Even coming to podcast today, I was numb on the way here. I was just like,
I was in autopilot. I was like, all right, this is where I'm going.
And it's
But,
just,
like, I haven't been able to sit with it and be like, why do I? Well, I kept telling people, like, I'm in a slump this week. And I'm like, but why? Like, why is it so difficult for me? This week was a hard week. Like, I wasn't sad.
that was me last week.
I wasn't ecstatic. There was a day where I literally, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just because I'm getting sick. Maybe it's because I've been fighting getting sick and it's just kicking my ass right now. And it's like, no, because like you still have energy to do things. You just don't want to. Like, I had the most unproductive week at work, and I had the most FaceTime with people. And I was like, why am I here? Like, I don't want to be here. And it was, one day I was like leaving to go, I was going to go to the gym. And I was like, no, I want to go home. And I want to go curl up in my bed. And I want to do nothing. And while I do nothing, I'm going to buy my comfort foods. So I went to Brothers Pizza. I got myself a small cheese pizza and a small chicken wing. And I went home, devoured that, and I said, I want something sweet. So I bought myself an Oreo Blizzard from Dairy Queen. And I went to bed content, because that's just what I needed. And instead of being like, bitch, you could be at the gym right now. Why are you wasting your time? But I'm like, why do I feel numb? Like, what is that? Why? Like, what am I fighting right now? And I'm still trying to figure it out. And I had two of my friends that actually a married couple, and they were like, what are you doing? Like, why are you allowing naysayers to get in on your head? Like, your prayer was for your name to be mentioned in rooms that you have not been in yet. And yet people are presenting you opportunities and you're declining it because you're offended by somebody else. Make that make sense. And I was like, and this is why you have to have people, and it takes a village, and you need a community of people to pull you out of it. Now, they didn't pull me, they might have pulled me halfway.
But they were able to bring it to your attention.
That part.
And to give you at least a tool to start moving somewhere with it.
That part. But I knew that I wasn't completely numb because I was able to hear that. And then the gears start to turn. If I was like numb, I would have been like, man, screw both of y'all. And I would have just like, old Nina would have been like, yeah, screw both of y'all, cut both of y'all off, easy. And that wasn't where I was at. Like, I had to hear it. And it was because I trust these people that I was able to hear it. But if I was fully numb, that would not have happened. I would have been like, yeah, delete, backspace, delete that, unfollow. But it all looks different for different people. Like, some people can be numb and just continue to go through their day to day. My numbness is like, you need to stop what you're doing and you need to just be in bed. Like, and then one might think like, oh, depression. It's not depression. I'm not sad. No.
Yeah.
That's just what I needed. That's just what I needed. Because I woke up the
where
next day.
where I have been battling, because I'm like,
am I depressed?
I deal with depression, and I'm just like, I'm not depressed though. Like, I'm happy. I want change. I'm craving change.
You're not satisfied.
Right. I'm craving
content,
change.
but you're not satisfied.
I'm craving a challenge. I'm craving, all these things. But I always just go back to the fact of like discipline. And it's like what my therapist said, like, it has been sticking in my head. Like, you want all of those things. In order to get that, you have to go through this. And until you figure out,
get over it, you have to go through it.
Until you figure out why you can't get through this, you can't get to that. You can't handle that. You can't handle that. If I give you that right now, you're going to put it down within 30 minutes and be like, I'm good. I learned. You need to learn why you can't go through this. And you know what? What sucks about all of this is that same face you just made is the same face I make to myself like so many times a week when I'm like, it'll be Thursday and I'm like, I haven't gone to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm like, it's Thursday. And I keep saying, I'm going to go tomorrow. And then I'm like, wait, it's Friday. Like, who's going to start the gym on a Friday? Like, what are we doing?
That's literally what happened to me this
And
week.
then it's like, and then I sit Sunday. Sundays are my days. Like, I've been practicing clearing my schedule Sundays. Notice we're not recording on Sundays. Like, I've just like, I'll take a hit Saturday. Let's do it Saturday. Sunday, I just need the day to just like chill. I do brunch with Josh. I can take him on Sunday because it helps me refresh. And it's very lighthearted. It's very just like quick, 1 hour. I'm like, cool, boom. After that, it's home. I want to be home. I want to be in bed. I want to be numb in a sense of just like, let me just relax. Meal prep. I've been meal prepping. I've been having my fruits. I've been grocery shopping. All these things that I had put on the back burner because I was like, Sunday is the last day of the weekend. Let me go get some drinks. Let me go chill with this person. Let me go do that. It's Sunday. Why are you making such a big deal? Why you have to rest? Now I'm like, no, baby.
Rest with a capital R.
No. So it's like, until I get through this, I can't get there. And I've said this on this podcast before, is like, I need to get to the root of what's blocking me from this right now. Because I'm never going to get there if I stay right here.
Emotional, it's a word. Like, it's a word. Like, I needed this. Oh, this is nuts.
It's the truth. Like, but I think self-realization and just facing the truth. I think facing the truth is the hardest part. Right?
Yeah.
sitting there with your truth, not what we tell the world, not what the world sees or what the world tells us. Sitting there with our truth in front of us and being like, yeah, okay, I'm fucking up. You know, I gotta fix this. I gotta get there. I gotta do this. And start small. This is something that I tell everyone. All my friends suffer from everything that I just expressed. All my friends deal with this. And I always tell them, start small. Just because tomorrow's Monday doesn't mean it's the first day. Doesn't mean it's the most important day. Doesn't mean, it just means it's Monday and you can just start small. Maybe you're just going to the gym for 20 minutes to run on the... Okay. Did you do 20 minutes today? Did you do 20 minutes last week? So why are you beating yourself up because you went to the gym for 20 minutes? You know what you can do? Stop going to the gym and posting that shit online, because then you're having other people comment to you and you're expecting that from other people. Like, yo, did you go to the gym today? Yes, some people like accountability. I don't like that shit. Leave me alone. If I went to the gym today, I went to the gym today. And if
also,
I didn't
like,
go...
If I post, I post. If you, like, there's sometimes where I'm at the gym and I don't post.
No, but I'm saying for
gym, I don't post.
Like my friends who are just like, you know, but if I go, I gotta go hard. I gotta go, and it's like, you don't, babes. You want to go hard because you want people to think you're going hard, babes. It's not about what people think, because they're not even going hard.
No.
So it's like, what are you worried about that? Start small. Start small. Start small, and only look at yourself. Only look at your journey. Yeah. Hone in on yourself. It's selfish season. That's where we're all at. The whole world is on selfish season right now. So.
Tell me it's not, because it's me this, me that, self-care, self-love. You know what I'm saying? Like, that numbness though, that shit is real. But don't be so...
What in the Salisbury Beach is going on out there?
Where all these sequels came from? That's crazy. Just don't be so numb that when you start to feel something, you try to shut it down. Allow yourself to feel it.
Don't get in your own way. And if you are getting in your own way, that is what you have to get through.
We can end it right there. I can't. I'm going to be in tears next time. We're done. If you go any further, I'm going to be in tears.
Okay, let's close this section now and head over to our last section, which is...
A reposar.
And welcome to Reposar, which is the part of the show that we're just going to leave you guys feeling good after, having all that topic, having all of that, we're full now. So we want you guys to relax. So we're going to give any announcements, any shout outs, and some affirmations to leave you guys feeling cute for the rest of the week.
Yes. You have anything?
I do not.
I have something that I don't know.
What?
You know what I've been using? The CoStar app. Shout out if you're on the CoStar app. It's a Zodiac app, but it's been like it's different than the other Zodiac apps, if you ask me. But that's just me. Mm-hmm. It's like nationwide on your side. Okay.
Nationwide is
Here.
on your side.
I got this, and this is actually for tomorrow. So something's gonna happen tomorrow that's gonna revolve around this. Mark my words. What if you begin to practice unconditional gentleness with your friends? And that has been on my mind ever since I sent that text out that I said earlier. I was like, maybe that came off a little harsh. And I had to explain to people what's actually happening, because I felt like people received it like, why is he shutting me out of his life? And it's like, I'm not shutting you out of my life, babes. I'm just letting you know that right now, I just don't have the time or the space for it, but I love you. I support you. And if you obviously need me, 911 emergency, I'm here for you. But if it's not 911 emergency and you just want to vent to me, right now I can't. I can't receive that. So I'm practicing gentleness with my friends, and I'm trying to... Josh actually gave me a good recommendation. Try doing something different than just chilling and drinking.
You want to go to an escape room?
Oh, when?
I don't know.
Get out of here. What's yours?
Because at first I was like, I got invited to one and I was like, I don't think my anxiety can take it.
Escape room?
To an escape room? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Because in those situations, I got to take the lead. And if you fight me on taking the lead, I'm going to fight you. So we're going to get kicked out of the escape room.
Honey, I'm going to get out.
Anyway.
I'm
going to get out.
The trauma?
You feel me? I'm gonna solve these riddles. That means I can get out. I don't, in the spirit of allowing yourself to feel things, I would just say lean into your feelings. Don't shy away from them. Don't try to run from them.
Don't put them on the back burner.
Don't try to mask them. Lean into it and do it in a space where you feel safe. If that's when you get home and you just sit in your car for 45 minutes, hi, that's me. Do that. You know, there used to be a time where I didn't feel safe being inside my house, and I do now. And I can sit in my bed and I can, you know, allow the Holy Spirit to welcome the Holy Spirit in and, you know, talk to God. And whatever that looks like for you, that's what it looks like for me. You know, we all know that my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. So that is who I go to. And just lean into it. Lean into your feelings and try to understand why you feel this way. And sometimes I learned last week that sometimes when you start to go through things, it's because you're being broken just enough to have to depend on God. So I would just sit with that. If you're a non-believer, that's what's up. If you are a believer, sometimes we tend to go through things because God wants us to depend on Him and not depend on others.
Not me biting my cuticles on screen.
Disgusting, me da asco. Anyways, with all that being said, mi gente, I'm Nina Montañez.
With a cuticle crumb on my top. My name is Rosales and I'm blasting off.
And I'm Nina Montañez. Stay blessed, mi gente. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Sofrito Speaks.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Sofrito Speaks to keep up with all of our latest content.